Professor Cyrille Cohen from Tel Aviv's Bar-Ilan University is one of many local scientists saying, "I told you so." And Professor Cohen is here to tell us more. Great to have you with us, Professor.
Thank you very much. How are you doing?
Very good, thank you. So talk us through, there was this whole should we, shouldn't we, and now it seems that the World Health Organization is on board with the idea that they are effective. Tell us why.
So in short, we should. And the reason is that we're talking about a droplet infection. We have two modes of transmission of that kind of viruses, okay? You have the airborne viruses, like, for example, measles or chickenpox, which can stand in the air. But this particular virus, the coronavirus SARS-CoV-2, is a droplet transmission virus, meaning that in order to infect someone else, that virus get into droplets. Now, a mask can effectively prevent the transmission of droplets, and therefore that's why we encourage people to wear masks.
If you walk through one of the markets here in Tel Aviv called Sugar Caramel, you'll see all of these different masks with different logos. They look very fashionable. People are making them themselves. Do those help us? What are the best masks to be using?
So based on that analysis that was published in The Lancet, the best masks are actually respirators. We're talking about the KN95 mask, which are very, I would say, dense in terms of the fabric of these masks, and this can really prevent the transmission of droplets. Now, you have, on the other scale, you have the fabric mask, the regular fabric mask that you were just mentioning, and here we would like to have masks that, again, the way the fabric is, it should be very dense so that droplets can go in and out, okay, because we have to prevent transmission on both ways.
Right.
And it would be better if it's water repellent. And in the middle, I would say you have the surgical masks, the regular masks that people are using, which are very good.
But how far should we take this? Because you're talking about, you know, water droplets, which are coming out as we speak. So while I'm speaking, I might speak and then walk in another direction, and there's still water droplets in the air. So should we only be wearing these in public spaces, or even at home, or how does it work?
So first, because it's in droplets, because of gravity, it sinks down, so it's not a problem. Okay, after a few seconds, you know, whatever you expelled is on the floor. So no, really, we should wear them in closed environments for sure, because it was shown that, for example, between 95 and 99% of cases of infection occurred in places that were closed.
So even within families, even when you go home, you can't take your mask off at the end of the day?
No, you should, because at some point, you know, it's not only, you know, the way you are talking or interacting with people, it's also what you're touching. So there's no limit to that.
So talk us through that, because masks are just one way of protecting ourselves.
Exactly.
You know, what else do we need to be doing? No washing hands, etc. But
so we have three main, I would say, three main things that can prevent transmission. First is what we call masks, and we just discussed that. Second is hygiene, using alcohol gel, washing your hands, and it can prevent a lot of infection. And the third thing is, of course, physical distance. And it was shown in that study that, for example, within, you know, keeping a distance of 1.5 meters can lower the risk of transmission by 82%. So.
And are there other studies, because obviously most people look to the World Health Organization as the major authority, but are there other studies that are backing up the World Health Organization or telling us other things we should be doing?
Oh yeah, so definitely there was a big study that is a meta-analysis that actually relies on 172 studies that show that really it's very important to wear a mask, and that can really cut down the number of infections.
Well, Professor, thank you so much for that insight,
No problem.
really.
Thank you.
Well, there you go. We know how to stay safe.